Welcome back to this video channel about spiritual enlightenment. This video I like to start with a very short summary of the entire path to enlightenment, and that is: stop being selfish and the illusion of self will disappear. In my previous video I asked you to be, for instance, to be completely honest and never lie again. And that's exactly the same thing as not being selfish. Or when I state that you can be completely generous and give away the best to other people, then that's also the same thing as not being selfish. If you continuously do that in the end, in the awakening, you will see that there was no self, that the only thing there is this infinite awareness, and that you are this infinite awareness together with all other living beings on this planet. And that's the experience of oneness. Now you have to understand that before you started this spiritual path, it was very easy for the low energy frequencies from which your ego comes forward to renew itself. But when you start to push out all your negativities, so you look very closely to the way you behave and the way you act, the way you speak and the way you think, it's much more difficult for this low energy frequency to renew itself, for your ego to renew itself and maintain. Because by behaving like an angel, you are slowly killing your ego. And I promise you, your ego will put up a strong fight. And what does that fight looks like? There will be times, even periods in a day, that these very ugly negative voices come up in your head. Very negative, ugly thinking, coloring your perception in a very negative way. And my advice is never fight those voices, because fighting and want to get rid of those voices has the same energy frequency as where those ugly voices come from. So you can do two things. One thing is, when those ugly voices come up, you recognize them, and you can even embrace them with love. So try to remember love and embrace them and welcome them. If that does not help and they don't go away, please just sit out this storm of ugly voices. Just sit it out like a thundercloud that is coming by. Just sit it out, don't respond to it. And then it also will heal, and it has not have the ability to renew itself. So less voices will come in the future. Unfortunately, it is so that these ugly voices will come up during a long period of time. It can even take a few years before you have overcome these ugly voices. And maybe, and most likely, there will be a moment in time where you pray to God and ask, will it ever stop? Will it ever stop? Because this is the fight. This is the fight, the thing you have to overcome in your spiritual path. And I promise you that there's a beyond. And that beyond is complete silence of the mind and complete peace. So I need you to be really strong when those voices come up, because this is the fight you have to deliver. Now, this is just to reassure you that you're not the only one going through this process, although it may seem like it, because in your direct environment not a lot of people are busy with spirituality. And I want to promise you that there is an end to it, so please be strong and hold on. Now to the real topic of this video. This video is about how to remove guilt. If you started your spiritual journey and you are minding yourself on the way you act and the way you think and the way you speak, then that angel-like behavior will invoke Kundalini energy to start rising and start cleansing your energy centers in your energy body. And one of the parts of that is to heal the situations that are still blocking your energy that have to do with guilt. Now you will see that those memories you feel guilty about will start rising and come up to your consciousness. And so you will have a vivid memory of the situation you still feel guilty about. Now, how to deal with that? The first major step you have to set is, maybe it's possible for you to still contact the person that you have hurt in that time. Schedule an appointment, have a cup of coffee, maybe have lunch, and explain to that person that you realize you have hurt him or her in the past, and say that you're sorry for that. And that you realize that with all you have learned in life, that you would never hurt anybody else in the same way again. And maybe at the end of that process, you can even ask that person if he is ready to forgive you. Now that is only the first step, because asking for forgiveness from the person that you have hurt by your actions is only the first step, because the second step, and maybe the first step, is not even possible because you have not seen that person in a long time, you cannot contact them anymore, or they are not amongst us anymore. Or it may also well be possible that the meeting you scheduled does not have the result you really wanted from that meeting, that forgiveness is not coming. Maybe they shut the door for you because they still feel that pain too intensely. So for all those reasons, it's very important to also take the following step. When that memory comes up again, you have to go into it and feel it. And feel the hurt that you have done to that other person. And then you have to realize that with everything you learned, you promise yourself that you will never hurt another person in the same way again. And then the most important step is, and likely to say it out loud to yourself, I forgive myself. Now when the memories still come up, maybe you have to repeat that session until it's healed completely, and that memory actually is healed, and then you will see that it's closed and it is past and it will not come up again. And with this process you again remove a strong blockage in your energy body, and the energy in your stomach area can flow more freely. And again, this will lift some weight off your shoulders and you feel lighter. That is how you remove guilty situations, and it's still part of closing your past. Thank you for watching this video, and in the next one we'll deal with fear.